Hi everybody, I'm Joe Seaman, running for New York Assembly in the 112th District, challenging the incumbent Mary Beth Walsh. I'd like to respond to her recent comments on the governor's budget proposals, and I'd like to talk about what Ms. Walsh said, and more importantly, what she didn't say. Ms. Walsh had criticisms, but didn't offer any solutions whatsoever. She laughed derisively, claiming the governor was not dealing with the budget shortfall, but ironically didn't at all tell us what she's going to do about it. Nor did she tell us about what she's done about the budgets over the last 3 years that she's held this seat. And she didn't omit what she's done or will do about the budget because it would have taken her too much time. Actually, I can tell you right now everything she's done or can do about the budget, about how our taxes are spent. And that's absolutely nothing. You see, the way the New York Assembly works is that the majority Democratic Conference drafts and passes a budget and negotiates with the Senate Majority Conference and the governor. Unless Ms. Walsh will caucus with the majority Democrats, she won't have any say into the budget, just as she hasn't in the past 3 years. She can't be your voice. I'm running as a working families Democrat to give the people of this district a voice in the budget into how our taxes are spent, whose taxes are cut and whose are raised, what services are cut or improved, a voice into the critical legislation that we need for the future of our upstate New York. Now, Ms. Walsh briefly mentioned funding Medicaid and local government costs, but she didn't say anything about what we can do. And I'll tell you what we can do. We can replace the ripoff of corporate health insurance with, instead, public health protection, which will mean health care for all of our families, which will dramatically cut medical administrative costs, which are plaguing our doctors, which will also save 98% of us money, and will also dramatically cut local government and school districts' healthcare costs, which means savings on our property and school taxes. And that's what I'll be fighting for in the Assembly. Has Ms. Walsh fought for your family's health care? Also, Ms. Walsh red-baited and bashed the idea of equity as socialism. Well, equity means fairness. Look it up. It seems that everything we want to do to help the people in our communities, not the profits of Wall Street, is bashed by Republicans like Ms. Walsh as socialism. Public health protection, protecting our environment, decent schools for all our children, clean energy for our children's future, all bashed by Republicans as socialism. They want it to be a scare word, to demonize those of us who refuse to take legalized bribes from billionaire corporate interests. Let's remember, the communist Soviet Union called themselves socialists, and these same communists are now Putin and his oligarchy, whose cyber war on American democracy is actually welcomed by Ms. Walsh's Republican Party. Well, Ms. Walsh implied that giving fair funding to poorer school districts means that the other school districts will suffer and will cause our taxes to go up. Well, she's trying to divide us. Let's not be divided. We can make the billionaires pay their fair share of taxes, and we don't have to steal from some school districts to bring the others up to par. And that's what I will fight for in the Assembly. Ms. Walsh also criticized cannabis legalization. I say we can legalize it, take it out of the underground organized crime economy, and use the taxes as part of our budget solutions, just like our neighbors in Massachusetts, Vermont, and Canada. And Ms. Walsh, of course, attacked bail reform. Now, what I want is fairness for people to be kept in jail if they're a danger to the community, regardless of if they're rich or poor, and otherwise not kept in jail. Walsh fearmongers about dangerous people being let out of jail, but she is perfectly fine with the same people let out of jail if they've got plenty of money, and that's not right. If there were problems in the bail reform law, I ask, why didn't Ms. Walsh, who we're paying to represent us, why didn't she do anything about it before it passed? Well, obviously that's because Ms. Walsh has no voice in the legislation and budget the Assembly passes. So I will be your voice. I won't take money from corporate PACs and billionaires. I will represent you. So, Ms. Walsh, if you think that what I've said here is incorrect, why don't we get together in front of the people of Saratoga and Schenectady counties and let's talk about it. We don't need to wait for formal debates. Let's have a dialogue with the constituents. Looking forward to hearing back from you. And to the people of the 112th District, I hope we can all engage in civil, respectful dialogues about what our children in our communities need. Whatever your party, background, beliefs, anyone running for office should be hearing your concerns. And please find out more about my campaign at upstatenyjoe.com. Thanks.